33% losses. That's what some Kelowna condo sellers are facing right now. While it's painful for them, it's opening the door for buyers to scoop up some real value in today's market. The big question is, are these losses isolated, or do they signal a broader shift in the Kelowna condo market? Let's find out in this month's condo market update for August 2025. So, this is for the Kelowna area, the Central Okanagan, from Peachland, West Kelowna, Kelowna, and Lake Country. So the Central Okanagan. So the sales that we had in the Central Okanagan, 101 sales in the month of August. Now this is actually the second largest month of sales in 2025. So 2025 has been a slow year, and of all months, August it's usually one of our slower months, but August this year was one of our busier months. So 101 sales, and just by this number alone, 31% increase over 2024. 2024 was also a slower year. Current listings are sitting at near record highs still. So we're at 893 condo listings. That's an 18% increase over 2024. And that doesn't include, the 893 doesn't include the developer listings as well that are held outside of the MLS. So I'm not sure what those are, but it's probably well over 1,000 listings in the Kelowna area right now. And the listings breakdown, so owner occupied 28%, tenant occupied 18%, and vacant or other. Some of the developer listings are on MLS, or the brand new condos are on MLS. They're listed by real estate agents. But those, so that number is sitting at 54%. So well over half, or just over half of the market right now is vacant properties and vacant condos. And then again, this doesn't include any of the actual developer listings that are sitting off of the MLS. Number of new listings we saw is 224. It's about a 5.5% increase over last year. We're still seeing quite a few new listings at the market, but as we lead into late fall and winter, that the number of new listings will peter out there. Now the benchmark price, we're sitting at $497,000, so we're under the $500,000 mark for what would be considered your typical condo here in Kelowna, 2-bed, 2-bath condo. It's down almost 2% since this time last year. It varies month to month, but it's been hovering around the $500,000 mark for quite some time. And I'll go over the pricing here in a moment. Now the days to sell, we're sitting at 68, so just over 2 months on average to sell the typical condo right now, which is a 15% increase in the days to sell since last year. Now 51% of the condos that are sitting on the market right now have been sitting on the market for 65 days plus. So just to give you an idea of kind of how slow the condo market is right now. Now this number 68 doesn't include any relisted properties. If properties were, say there was a price reduction, they took that listing itself off the market and then relisted that property right away at say a lower price. It doesn't include those relisted ones. So on average, you're probably sitting, if you do have to, if you are relisting and repricing, it's probably closer to 85 days on market on average, but this goes off of the last list price. Now the list to sale price ratio right now is sitting at just over 96%, meaning buyers and sellers are negotiating 4% on average off of the last list price. So the condo market right now is great for buyers, and that leads me into the months of inventory, which tells us exactly that. So months of inventory, we're sitting at almost 9 months of inventory. So in theory, if no other condos came on the market at the end of August, it would take about 9 months to sell off that inventory. And I put a little asterisk there because it actually is higher. The months of inventory is probably higher, again, because of those developer listings that are sitting on the market or sitting off of the MLS, but still available. It's probably higher than that, probably closer to 10 or maybe a year of inventory right now. But as the stats suggest right now, between sales, so the way the months of inventory is calculated is the current listings divided by the sales. That gives you 8.8 months of inventory. That was in August. And then the absorption rate is the opposite. You take the sales divide it by the current listings. That gives you the absorption rate. So 11 out of every 100 listings that are on the market right now are selling. So that's that calculation there. So this gives you a really good idea right now of how beneficial this market is to buyers, and not so much on the selling side if you do have a condo to sell. Now, if you do have a condo to sell, or you're looking to buy a condo in the Kelowna area, or you just have general questions about the market, I'd love to help you out. You can simply shoot me a text message or call the number on the screen. Now, let's go on to the sales here quickly, just to show you the 10-year average for the Kelowna condo sales. So since 2015, how have they been doing? So we're actually 30% below the 10-year average, although we did have a spike since last year, and August was the second busiest month this year. In July was actually the busiest month for condos. We are still below 30% below the 10-year average right now. So that's the red line here. So we obviously saw a spike in 2021, and 2022 was a busier year. But if you go back to 2016 and 2017, those were busy years as well. So again, that average is 143 listings is the average, the 10-year average for August anyway. So for August specifically, again, we're 30% below that 10-year average, just to give you an idea of how slow it is. And last year was actually the slowest year for condos in the last 10 years. And mainly that was due to in what I would think is the fires that we had in the fires were in 2023. Oh, so 2024 was even less busy than the fires that we had in 2023. So again, 2024 was a very slow year, and 2025 is a slow year. It's just busier compared to last year. Now let's go on to the Kelowna condo prices. Let's just see what's been going on, break it down a little bit more here for you. So again, at the end of August 2025, $497,000 is the benchmark price for condos here. That'll get you a very nice 2-bed, 2-bath right now. And there are certainly some deals to be had out in the market. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, 33% losses are being recorded on certain properties and certain buildings. And the price point for those, you're around the $450,000 to $500,000 range. There are some being recorded that haven't sold yet but are on the market. They're at higher end, $750,000 range right now. They're seeing some big losses as well. But if we look at the prices overall, let's go back just 10 years quickly here. So if you bought a condo 10 years, you've been in the market, you have that condo still, you've seen around 100% increase in value there. And if you bought a condo 5 years ago, just before everything started going up, you saw a 50% gain from August 2020 to March of 2022, when the market peaked out at $556,000. It's a $184,000 increase just in that less than 2-year period there. And then since the peak to today, pulled back just under 11%, or $59,000. So you're paying $59,000 less for the same condo as you would have in March of 2022. And just where we're sitting here historically for prices, August 2025, we pulled back to about between December 2021 and January of 2022 pricing right now. And the last bottom of the market was actually at the beginning of this year, January of 2025. And I believe that was $476,000. So if this trend continues, we're slowly going down into, we are under 500,000 now. Could trend lower, especially leading into the slower months of September will probably be busy. October's usually okay, and then November, December, January, February usually are slower months. So it'll be interesting to see what prices do in the next 5 or 6 months. Now that being said, let's lead into our deal of the month right now. So I've picked this one specifically. It's not my listing. It's just a great deal. I think it's a great deal right now on the market. I actually had a client purchase in this building in February. She moved in February. So a great building, great area in Glenmore. It's unit 101, it's the bottom floor, 265 Snowcell Street here in Kelowna. So let's just get into that right now, just to show you where it is in Kelowna and why I think it's a great deal. All right, so this is the listing here. So 499,000, you're around that benchmark price. As I mentioned, you can get a great condo for, two bed, two bath condo for around 500,000 right now. You can actually get great ones for even less, closer to 400,000. But this one's 499, but it's at 3 bed, 2 bath. So you get an extra bedroom, a large unit, 1,400 square feet in a great location in Glenmore. So I'll just go through the listing here quickly. Looks like some of this was virtually staged, but I'll just go through here. So it's an older building, it's 1992, so you'll have older kitchen and stuff like that, but nothing that can't be updated over time. And so that's bedroom number 1, I believe. So primary bedroom has its own patio door out to the patio, and right there. And then bedroom number 2, a little patio. So you're backing onto some green space. So it's nice, especially if you have pets, it's nice to have that. So that's it there. And then the floor plan here. So you can see that it's an actual true 3 bedroom because it has closet, window, closet, window. So you'll see some listings out there that'll say they're 3 bedrooms, but they're actually 2 plus den. So just be aware of that. This one's true 3 bedroom, again, 1,400 square feet, large unit. And I'll just show you the location here quickly. If you aren't familiar with Kelowna, you're looking to move to the area, Glenmore is a great area. So if you know where the bridge is, you know where downtown is, you're about 10-15 minutes to downtown, depending on traffic. And then if you are, let's say you are maybe going to the university, there's a road now that leads you straight from Glenmore Road to the university. You don't have to go down to the highway anymore. And then same with the airport. So if you are working out of town, that sort of thing, you're close to everything there in Glenmore. So it's a great location. This unit is currently vacant, ready to move in. So if you are in the market right now, again, simply shoot me a text message to the number on the screen. Now, after you hit the subscribe button, check out this video right here if you're wondering what the market overall is doing in Kelowna right now.